Welcome to Last Timeout. I'm Denzi.
I'm D.
Welcome back to another episode, everyone. Man, I just got done eating some good Chick-fil-A, bro. Like I'm full right now.
Bro, I haven't had no Chick-fil-A in like, bro, it's been like a year. We don't really be over there. We don't have one where we at, so
Hey, in my opinion, Popeyes is better, but
I don't know that chicken sandwich is some weaker, bro.
yeah. Well,
Uh,
moving on into some NBA news. What we got the NBA. This is official because it was Shams that tweeted this, so we know this is official. So this is very exciting. He
yeah,
said the target date for the return of the NBA is July 31st.
yeah. So I can't believe that they actually gave us a date because at this point I'm like, bro, they're gonna keep giving us fake dates. But the fact that we got an official date, that's exciting. It's really exciting. It gives me something to look forward to. It gives me hope. It lets me know I won't be bored for too much longer. We know July 1st. We got a little ways to go, but we're gonna make it there. I mean, we've been in quarantine what 2 3 months. I'm sure another two months ain't gonna hurt. So all we gotta do is wait. We see we see little places here and there are starting to open up. So we starting to get a little taste of normalcy in our world. So it's great. It's great to see. But
Yeah.
one thing I do want to get your opinion on this. NBA teams and execs are salty because the league, the way they're trying to bring back the league, they want Zion in the playoffs. They doing everything they can. So we're not going to see a 16 team playoffs. We're not going. That's just not a possibility because they're going to do anything that they want. They're going to do everything they can to make sure that Zion is in the playoffs. So we might see maybe 20 teams, maybe 22, 24. It's going to be something like that for Zion to come back. So what's your opinion on this, bro?
Bro, the stuff about them trying to make it to where the Pelicans can make the playoffs, that's like so weird to me. Like I don't know about that. That's pretty weird.
They
But
Because the NBA they know that they've lost a lot of money, and having Zion on the TV that's gonna bring in a lot of money, bro. That's gonna bring in the most money, so they're doing everything they can to get him on.
yeah, that's true. That's true. But what was I gonna say? The I completely forgot what I was gonna say. Continue.
Okay, all right. I honestly think that was all of the news, right? And I don't have any because I don't have any written down here. We covered everything. But yeah, it haven't been really a lot of news. ESPN has their whole thing going there, ranking top 10 NBA players. I remember the top three. It went KD. Um, I believe it was Giannis at two and LeBron at one, and they had Kawhi at four. Now that I think about it, so what do you think about the little order that they had?
I ain't gonna lie. I just
Mind you, hold on. Mind you, I know because that top 10 it looked pretty decent to me. I know Twitter been going back and forth between Harden and Curry because Curry was at five, Harden was at six. So they've been going back and forth on that, talking about who's better. So they've been going. What you think?
so they had who at number one,
They had LeBron at number one.
and then Kawhi was two.
No, Kawhi was forward. They
What?
had Giannis at number two,
And they had KD at
and
three?
I guess with no injuries.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah.
KD
I
got number one to me.
I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I would put Giannis and KD over LeBron.
Oh, I don't know.
Healthy, that's what I would do.
I don't know if I can put Giannis over. I can't put Giannis over LeBron just based off what we've seen in the postseason. I haven't seen
Yeah,
LeBron yet in my eyes.
that's true. Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it really ain't been too much of NBA besides the big news that we've gotten about the NBA returning. But the big thing y'all clicked on the video for is we made an NBA mock draft. We took the time out. We went and scouted every NBA player. I mean, NBA prospect that's going to be in the draft. So we just did the lottery, doing the whole first round, and that's gonna take too long. So we just did the lottery. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to that. We're gonna go 14 and work our way to number one. So with your number one, with your 14, who do you have the Blazers taking?
Okay, so 14, the Blazers. I have. It's a weird name. Like it's a lot of weird names in this draft. I got Sadiq Bey. His NBA comparison is Chris Middleton. So you already know what kind of player he is. He's a great 3-point shooter, 3-and-D player, and that's like a kind of player that the Blazers need, a nice 3-and-D player, because they could definitely improve on defense. So we all know that. But yeah, he had a breakout sophomore year in college. So yeah, I think that's gonna be a nice little pickup for the Blazers, man.
Okay. Did you have any downfalls or weaknesses that you've noticed in his game?
I didn't even list weaknesses. I just listed all strength.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But I didn't. I actually didn't have a player you just named in my lottery. I didn't. I didn't. I didn't. I didn't see him as a. I just felt like all the other players that I put above him were just they just had a solid name. But of course, I could have missed him. It's always a possibility I could have missed him. Guys, this lottery won't be perfect. It won't be perfect. It may not. This whole draft order it's probably not going to be the same because we know the lottery odds are, so this it's not going to be perfect. But with my 14, I had the Blazers taking Killian Hayes. He's a point guard. He's a gifted passer. I noticed that he had a natural feel for the game. He's solid in the pick and roll. He has a nice floater through the lane. He's averaging 11.6 points per game, 5.4 assists, and 3 rebounds. One thing I did notice about him, like a little weaknesses, I noticed that he's not a great shooter. He's 29% from three, and he doesn't seem like a leader to me. And he turns the ball over a lot, and he also has a high tendency to foul. One thing I did notice about him as far as fit with the Blazers do need a scoring punch off the bench. They need someone who can lead that bench so Dame can get some rest, so CJ can get some rest. Just another great ball handler that off the bench. So I feel like it would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So moving on to 13th pick, the Pelicans. So for the Pelicans, I had excuse me, I had Precious I Chua. I don't know. But his NBA comparison is Antoine Walker. So Precious, he has a great physical build, to be a great defender. So he has the potential there. He's gonna be a great defender. He doesn't shoot the ball very well, but he could improve. So his strength is he's great in transition, and he's just great at taking the ball to the hoop. And he's always giving his 100% effort at all times. So that's all you could ask from a player, man. So I think he could play well with Zion, and yeah.
Um, I like that. Um, Another player that wasn't on my board, I just went with who's the most touted, not just famous, but like I looked at the numbers and I don't know why I just didn't have him on my lottery thing. But with my 13, I had the Pelicans taking Theo Maladin. I really wish I would have wrote where they're coming from, their previous teams. But I have Theo Maladin, 7.4 points per game, 3 assists, one total rebound. He wasn't playing a lot of minutes. That's why his numbers aren't really as high. I think he was sitting somewhere around like 14 or 15 minutes per game. I don't know what's going on with that. But I compare him to Kyle Lowry. Um, his strengths are he's a talented faster, he's really fast, and he has a nice jump shot. And one thing he does do, he likes a little pull up. He has a nice pull up game. He can pull up in transition. Just a nice all around jumper mechanics. His weaknesses, he's not a great defender. And another weakness is he can get tunnel vision. When I was watching a quick highlight of his game, he was in a pick and roll, but he was so focused on feeding the big man off the roll, but he didn't notice on the outside he had a perimeter player open. I don't know if that guy was a shooter, and he was like, man, if I pass it to him, he just gonna brick it. I don't know if that was the case or what happened, but I did notice that he didn't hit him. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. And another thing, for a player who drives a lot, he didn't really sell himself to get a foul. So he didn't, in my eyes, I don't think he draws contract that good. So yeah.
Well, moving on to number 12, pick number 12, the the Sacramento Kings. I got Tyrese. I'm done saying the last names, bro. Honestly,
Halliburton. I learned that.
Halliburton.
Yeah.
Okay, so his NBA comparison is basically a better Michael Carter Williams. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Uh, so Tyrese, he's already like an NBA ready guy. He has all the material that he needs, you know. So he has what he needs to contribute at the next level already. And he probably won't be a star, but he has like starter potential. So yeah, he's a great versatile player. Yeah.
Okay. He's in my lottery. I think I have him a little bit higher, but I like that pick. Um, for the Kings, at what are we on number 12? I have Josh Green. I really wish I would have wrote these kids' school down, but I compare him to Robert Covington. His averages for the season are 12 points per game, 4.6 rebounds, and 2.6 assists. He hit some strengths I noticed about him is his defensive IQ. He's an on ball pest, and he's a solid catch and shoot shooter. And he has good finishing on the fast break, which generates like a lot of highlights. So I really like his game. His weaknesses are he's not an amazing shot creator, and he can get lost offensively, and he bites on a lot of bad steals. And I want to elaborate on the not an amazing shot creator. With him, it's almost like a Clay Thompson kind of guy, or his NBA comparison, Robert Covington. He's not a big shot creator. He may not ever be, but I feel like him playing with the Kings, you slide him to that small forward role, and him being such a good defender, I feel like he can hold it down. So now all of a sudden you have De'Aaron Fox, Bogdan Bogdanovich, Josh Green, Marvin Bagley, and then you can maybe even start Harry Giles at that five. And you just got a good young core right there to work with going on in the future.
Yeah, I really like players like that because they're like a big like momentum shifter. They can completely change the game with their defense because defense is always going to lead to offense, always.
Always.
I always love players that play defense, especially straight out of college and you playing defense, that's what's going to get you more minutes. So yeah, he's going to be a big game changer as soon as he gets into the NBA.
Yeah.
So moving on to pick number 11, the San Antonio Spurs. This is one of my favorite picks because I really like this player. So I got Cole Anthony. His NBA comparison is Jared Bayless, and bro, like they play like so alike. It's kind of weird. Like it's really weird. But he's consistently displayed at every single level that he can do everything possible to win. So another one of his standout strengths is his athleticism. He can jump out the gym. He can jump out the gym, bro. And he's super quick and he's a pretty good defender for his size. So I feel like this is a really good pick for the Spurs. I really hope they do pick him up. Because they don't have that kind of point guard to get you a bucket. DeJounte, he's a great defender, but he has gotten better offensively, but he's just not that player. And I feel like Cole Anthony, he can definitely bring that.
Yeah, I like that pick. I have him again. I have him a little bit higher, not too much higher, but I do agree with you. I feel like they could move Dejounte to the two and have that little backcourt for the future. But but yeah, we're on 11. I have the Spurs taking Devin Vassell. He was another guy. This is one of my favorite players that I scouted, and I'm like, man, I love watching this dude play. But I gotta move on, and it was really hard because I wanted to keep watching him play. But I compare him to a Jimmy Butler. Um, from what I noticed, he's a great on-ball defender. He can guard the 1 through 4. He's a nice catch and shoot shooter. So he's another 3 and D guy. I feel like that's perfect for the Spurs. Um, and he's nice in the pick and roll. He knows when to shoot. He knows when to come off that screen, when to pass it to the big. He just has a nice solid feel for that pick and roll game. His weaknesses is another thing. Struggle to create his own shots, and sometimes he struggles finishing at the rim. So I feel like the struggling at the rim, I feel like that might come with him getting a little stronger, maybe, and just putting on more body mass. And I feel like that's going to come as he develops into his NBA ready body. So that's who I have.
Yeah, bro. I love that pick and like you said, he's a 3 and D player. I love players like that. And I had him going on to number 10. I had him going to the Suns, and I think he could really fit well with that team there. So yeah, you said it all. So what you got next?
Who'd you have at your 10?
Yeah, I had Devin Vassell at 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, my number 10, I had Nico Manny, and I'm literally searching for his stuff. Give me a second. Oh man, I can't. Okay, I'll go ahead and tell you what, because I remember him off. I remember him off the head. Nico Manny, he was from what I saw, he was a good, kind of like a combo dynamic point guard. I did see him struggle a little bit on the defensive side of the ball, and I did see him struggle as as far as like just shooting and things like that. But I did like his court vision. I feel like if you pair him next to Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, and Kelly Oubre, I feel like you'll have a good young nucleus to come.
yeah. He's one of the players that didn't even make the lottery for me, but he does have a lot of potential. He's a great passer, great scorer, but like you said, he could improve defensively and work on his consistency offensively as well. So. Yeah, he's a great player.
Not before we move on, and I think about it, the reason I can't find his foul in my computer because I wrote down everything and put in the foul right here. The reason I couldn't find it is because he was a last minute. He was last minute for me, so I was like, man, do I want to throw him in the lottery? Because I know it's a high chance he don't go in the lottery. But I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and throw him in and just see who would I take out. So that's just why I didn't have him in.
Right, right. So moving on, number ninth pick. I got for the Wizards. I got Killian Hayes. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, you got it, bro.
Killian Hayes. So you already talked about him. I had his NBA comparison as like a more creative Dante Exum.
I like that. I like that.
hmm So yeah, he's a skilled combo guard. Uh, he has a lot of offensive ability. So and he's very fast. So yeah, you already spoke on him. So we're not gonna get too much into him. So what do you have next?
Um, at my number 9, I have Aaron Nesmith. I don't, I don't, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but he averages 23 points per game and 5 rebounds. I compare him to Bogdanovich of the Jazz. He's an amazing shooter. Some people say he might be the best in the class. You can argue that. He has solid range from the outside, and I just really like this game. The way he would come off the screen, floppy, the way he would run that, just be able to shoot. He can literally shoot from anywhere, which is why I uh, do see him as being a contender for the best shooter in this draft class. So I see why his weaknesses were he's not very athletic and he doesn't have a defensive motor to be able to guard everybody. So that's why.
Yeah, well, he's a great shooter, but improving on defense will just take him to a whole nother level. It's gonna get him more minutes, but it is what it is. So number eighth pick, the Charlotte Hornets, Patrick Williams. He's not very known, but his NBA comparison is a Kawhi light.
Kawhi,
So
Kawhi Light?
yeah, like light, like it's like a less skilled Kawhi. I guess you could say that. An underwhelming Kawhi. So so he's a very versatile player who defends multiple positions. He runs the floor well, and he could develop into a wing scorer. So yeah, he's not very known, but I could see him definitely making a huge impact because he's a great defender. You know, they always get a lot of attention. So yeah.
Um, I have at my number 8. I have Yeka Okunwu. Okunwu. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying.
That name was the most difficult for me, bro.
Oh my god. He averages 16 points per game, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 blocks. I compare him to Montrezl Harrell. I feel like in my eyes, this was the best fit for him. His strengths are that he's a multi-positional defender, great shot blocker, and a solid low post scorer. He is a little under undersized at that center position, especially when it comes to the NBA. But I feel like he'll make up for it, kind of like a Montrezl Harrell, the way they can guard the point guard off the screen, guard the two guard off the screen, or just roll with the big man to the rim. His weaknesses are he's not a floor spacer. He needs to get stronger, especially if he wants to guard bigger big men at the NBA level. And he's not a good passer. A lot of times he's in a post and he misses the open man and forces up a bad shot. But that's all gonna come with time.
Right, right. I had him a little bit higher. So moving on to number 7, the Chicago Bulls. I got Isaac Okoro. I had his NBA comparison as a faster Justin Anderson. I don't even know much about that NBA comparison now, but he's a standout defender and he's a game changer with his energy. He's always gonna give you that effort. Yeah, that's always a game changing what's it called? A game changing trait. So yeah, that's something you always want from a player. So he excels in transition and he could immediately impact the Bulls. So yeah.
I like that. I like that pick by you. Just he can maybe make up for some of the defensive slack by Zach LaVine and Kobe White. I like that pick, bro. With me, I have the Bulls taking Danny Avdija, a wing. He's been talked about here lately. Um, he's in limited minutes, I think, with it because I couldn't find his exact averages. What I did take was 4 points per game, 1 assist and 2 rebounds. I don't know if these stats are perfect, but I compare him to a Shetty Osman of the Cavaliers. Um, just like a point forward in his strengths, I have his ability to play make. He has a solid floater, and he has control driving to the lane, and he's an okay catch and shooter. Sometimes he'll get his jump shot off a little too quick for him, so that's why I have him as an okay catch and shooter. His weaknesses is he has an inconsistent jumper. Some nights he's hitting, sometimes he's not. You never know what you're going to get out of him. He's lazy on defense at times, and he struggles when double teamed. Um, when it was a couple of clips I saw where he would get double teamed and he would throw it out of bounds. And another clip I saw was him on defense. He didn't. I think he miscommunicated with a teammate or something like that, and he didn't rotate to where he was supposed to be, and it was just a whole thing right there. I do see more defensive potential in him with his build and everything. But just from what I saw, I saw that him as a lazy defender at times.
Yeah, I like that pick. I had him at number 6 for the Knicks. Uh, this pick, for me, it could be really like a hit or miss, bro. Like I'm not like he has a lot of potential, but then it could really just go either way.
Yeah,
It
he's
is really just depending on his work ethic.
yeah.
So yeah, you already got into him. So who you have next?
I have Tyrese Halliburton going to the Knicks at number 6, right? I feel like the Knicks they gonna get that point guard that they've been needing for a hot minute now. He's not he's not box office. I know a lot of Knicks fans they want Lamelo, but these the same guys who want Zion the year before. They want Kyrie, KD. So if you end up with a guy like Tyrese Halliburton, Knicks fans, I want you to give him a chance, man. His strengths are he's a nice shooter from deep. He's nice at changing his speed and transition, and he always finds his open teammates. As you see, he averages 6.5 assists, 15 points per game, 6 rebounds. So he's putting up some nice numbers. His weaknesses are his shot looks weird. It looks kind of funky, and it will be a struggle to get off, especially like when you have much taller, more stronger, more athletic defenders coming at you, especially with this next name I'm about to bring up. He struggles without screens, like a lot of these guards on 2K. Um, he struggles without he struggles without screens though. He's not much of an ISO player, especially with his jump shot with these guys that can just go straight over the screen and bigger and stronger, they're going to get a better contest because his jump shot is a little slower and it's a little weird. So his shot does need some more mechanical work on it, but I'm sure that'll come with the NBA trainers. And another thing I picked up off of him is his defense is lackluster a lot of the times. A lot of guys are able to drive on him. He gives up some threes. He oftentimes miscommunicates. So that's just what I have from him.
Yeah, and going to the Knicks, I know it's gonna be tough, man. Because Knicks fans, they're not the best. We seen what they did with Porzingis, and he showed out in New York, and they lost him. So
But
yeah,
they deserved it. They deserved it.
it's tough, man.
Especially that little kid. Now he wanted to cheer. He wanted to boo Porzingis, do all that. Now he getting an interview with him. Now he want to be lovey-dovey. Man, go on with that.
Wild. Okay, so moving on to number five, I got the Detroit Pistons taking LaMelo Ball. This,
Same here, bro.
yeah, I don't see them picking up nobody else because
They better.
this is really what they need. This is what they need right here, man. LaMelo could be a game changer. He could possibly win Rookie of the Year. So I had his NBA comparison. This might be weird, but I don't know. I had him as a 6'7" Jason Williams. That might be weird. I don't know, but I mean, we all know about LaMelo. You feel me? He's a superstar already. So yeah, so you had him on the Pistons as well.
Yeah. You basically hit on them, so I'm not gonna go too deep into everything. My player comparison, I had him. It was really hard, bro. I sat there for like 5 minutes trying to think of somebody to compare him to. I eventually compared him to Damian Lillard. Um, he did just like the range, his pull up game. Always finding an open man. We've seen Dame improve on that through the years, becoming a very good passer, one of the best in the league. And yeah, he has a nice pick and roll game. So yeah, it's just nice to see. One thing I am worried about, just the thing with Lamelo, he can he can be one of the best guard defenders in the league, guys. He's a 6'8" point guard. A 6'8" point guard, man. Come on, a 6'8" point guard, bro. You can go out there and guard honestly 1 through 4. If he puts his mind to it, comes into his NBA body, he can really be guard the 1 through 4. And I hope he gets his motor up on that defensive side of the ball.
Yeah. So LaMelo, I really well, I wouldn't because he has shown defensive potential while he was
Yeah,
playing recently. So it's really just like a question mark right now. Because we've seen him play defense, but can he do it in the NBA is the question. But if he can't, the league's not ready, bro. The league is not ready.
and before we move on, I do want to say this too. This would be great for the Pistons. This is not just a situation for LaMelo. This is great for the Pistons too because LaMelo, he's going to sell tickets. Like you were saying, he's already a superstar. He's another Zion. He's already a superstar. So one thing the Pistons they want to do, they want to sell tickets. And LaMelo's box office. He's very box office. So he's going to sell tickets. He's going to bring fans into those seats. He's going to bring that he's going to bring that organization to the next level, especially if he's a solid NBA player.
Yep. I mean, we've seen him since a freshman in high school, so
Literally.
we know what Melo's about. So moving on to number four, Atlanta Hawks. I got Obi Toppin. Obi Top. Yeah, I hope I'm saying that right. It's not Toppin or nothing like that.
I believe so.
But his NBA comparison, is a stronger Drew Gooden. Not a lot of people know about Drew Gooden. Go look him up on YouTube. After you're done watching this video, to don't
After,
it just you're gonna have to wait it out. Don't worry. We almost done.
give us a little bit.
Okay, well, he's an exceptional offensive talent, especially for his size. This There's not a lot of forwards that can do the stuff that he does. He's a great shooter. So yeah, the Hawks, they could really use a big that can score. Uh, I feel like I don't know if they would really take this pick. I feel like they'd rather go with a guard. I don't know, or a forward. I think that would be the best option for them. I don't know. But yeah, who do you have that for?
My number four, I had a Hawks taking Anthony Edwards. Um, he's another player. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. He could go number one. Um, we just don't know at this point. But I have him going number four to the Atlanta Hawks. I feel like he would be perfect next to Trey Young as like a kind of like a yin and yang. Trey is the outside player. Anthony Edwards, he can play the outside, but I feel like he's going to get a lot of his buckets at the rim. So I feel like they'll just be like a dynamic point guard, and they'll just be great together. His strengths are his athleticism, his ability to play the passing lanes, his ability to score in transition. He's very strong, has a smooth looking jumper, and his weaknesses are he can get tunnel vision. He's inconsistent from three. He's shooting 29% from down there, and he can get reckless with the ball. And a lot of times on the fast break, he's not able to slow himself down. So these are just little things here and there that I feel like, you know,
I wanted to bust out laughing on that last one. You say he's not able to slow himself down. That's
not.
pretty wild. Okay, so we on number three, right? Okay, so number three, the Minnesota. Oh, this probably one of my favorite ones. Minnesota Timberwolves taking Onyeka Okongwu. So I got his NBA comparison as Bam Adebayo. He's That name should already tell you what he's about. He's a great defender, and down low with Cat, that's what Cat needs because Cat's not that great on defense. This is what Cat needs. He needs a dude to get down low with him and help him out. So uh offense, I'm not too sure on his offense. I don't think he can't shoot at all. I don't think, but who knows? If Ben Simmons can do it, anyone can. Anyone. So yeah, D'Lo's the greatest point guard in the league. So that's going to be a great addition to his exceptional passing because he's one of the best passers in the league as well. So yeah,
Uh, God, he's playing. He's playing. Nah, D'Lo is a top. He is a top point guard. But I have Isaac Okoro at my number three going to the Timberwolves. I just feel like I feel like that he could perfectly play that small forward position. I thought about putting Anthony Edwards here, but I feel like they haven't gave up on Jared Culver yet. So I feel like they're still trying to experiment with him. Last season they tried running him at point guard. That really didn't work out. So I feel like they still have some experimenting to do, and I feel like they haven't given up on him. But I have Isaac Okoro. I feel like he can just come in, make up for the defense of D'Angelo Russell on the perimeter. He's a nice, solid, smart defender. He can jump. He can jump out the gym like crazy, bro. He can jump. He has nice driving control. His struggles are he struggles to create his own shot, and his jump shot as a whole needs tweaking. And he has an inconsistent free throw, and he can get out of control when driving. So that's just another thing I saw. Like a lot of times he'll have to slow himself down. Like a lot of times he's running too fast. So yeah, his player comparison is DeJounte Murray, just being a great solid defender, not able to really do too much on the offensive side of the ball. So I feel like that was perfect.
Yeah, Isaac Okoro, he's one of those players that's like a work in progress. So, oh, and another thing with picking Anthony Edwards for the Timberwolves, they would possibly have to trade Malik Beasley. So,
Oh, I forgot they had Beasley.
yeah. So I don't know if they want to do that because Malik's a great shooter and Edward. So yeah, I don't know. But moving on, number two, Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't. This franchise is just not good. I don't
Not
know, man.
fine.
So Anthony Edwards, in my opinion, this is a perfect pick for Edwards. His NBA comparison, I have him as a bigger Victor Oladipo. He's a very athletic player, and pairing up next to Sexton, that's gonna be a deadly duo. It could be something deadly. It possibly could. No, I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say it could flip a franchise upside down, but never mind. So what you got?
Um, I have. I am I hold on. I want to expand on that. I feel like one thing you forgot is Darius Garland. So I didn't want to give them another guard, even though it's the Cavaliers, so they just might take another guard and probably take a guard in the second round because that's just what they do. But nah, I gave him Obi Toppin. Uh, I feel like he's a honestly he might be the best player in this draft. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. 20 points per game, 2 assists, 7 rebounds. I compare him to Anthony Davis. His strengths are he's a solid shooter. He's very strong, aggressive going to the paint. He's a good interior defender, and he takes other bigs off the dribble well. His weaknesses are it was hard for me to find a weakness in his game, bro. It was very hard. He's not really a passer, but he don't really need to go out there and facilitate. And he's not the best perimeter defender, but I feel like that's gonna come with him getting his footwork right and everything. So yeah.
Hey man, that's a hot take right there. I don't know. That's a real hot take. But yeah, it could possibly be. Yeah, he has a lot of potential. So who knows? So the final pick, the number one pick, the Golden State Warriors. James Wiseman. I got his NBA comparison as Anthony Davis light. So Wiseman, he would give the Warriors a much needed, you know, force down low. That's really what they need. They have Marquise Chris. He's still young, but him coming off the bench that would work even better. So he has the potential to shoot because he did shoot in high school, but he stopped shooting in college. So I'm not sure if it was his coach that just wanted him to focus more on his strengths, but he does have the potential to shoot, and Warriors love their shooters. So yeah,
I'm with you, bro. We're the same thing. Is it the only difference is I compare him to Hassan Whiteside. I see more of a Hassan Whiteside. He's averaging 19, 10, 3 blocks. I see a lot of Hassan Whiteside in him. His strengths for me, I have he's strong, able to outpower his defenders, extremely athletic, and he's an instinctive rebound, and he's an amazing rim protector. His weaknesses are he doesn't shoot, can't clock the paint, and not always a willing screen setter. But let me elaborate on this because I feel like I don't want anybody to like come for this list, especially with a situation like this. Like with James Wiseman, he had that whole thing with Penny Hardaway. and he only played like 3 games in college with that whole scandal or whatever. So I want to elaborate on this. It's a very high chance that James Wiseman doesn't end up on the Warriors. It's a very high chance the Warriors don't get the #1 pick. It's a very high chance the Warriors trade this pick. I seen today the Warriors are. They say Bob Myers is literally fiending for Giannis. Literally, I seen the autograph. He says he's fiending for Giannis. I I didn't really. This is something everybody knows. Well, not fiending. We didn't know he was fiending, but I just didn't feel like it was like a big topic to talk about. But since we're talking about this, they say he's fiending for Giannis. So if you want to get Giannis 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have to throw this pick in there along with some more assets. So it's a chance that James Wiseman may be on the Bucks. So it's a chance James Wiseman gets selected with the 5th overall pick. This whole lottery, it's not perfect. It's not perfect at all. So that's I just wanted to let y'all know that right there.
So
Yeah.
I guess this is the ooh, boop, boop, boop. I'm guessing this is the end of the episode. If we ain't got nothing else, what you got, D?
Uh, this ain't nothing to do with basketball. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. But one thing is, guys, I did I did get hired. I'm gonna let y'all know once I work my first shift where. But yeah, I start training tomorrow. So I just felt like this was important for y'all to know because it could complicate us the way we upload our videos. So we don't we're gonna stay consistent. We can tell y'all are gonna get about two videos a week, right? So we just want to let y'all know that things may get a little, how do you say, a little more tight as far as our schedule. So that's all we wanted to really let y'all know. But yeah, that's all I have.
Yep. So that's a wrap for today's episode. I'm Denzi,
I'm B.
and we out.